If someone told you that time heals all wounds, this prayer is for the part of you that knows that is not true. You are here because there is a grief inside you that never went away. Maybe it has been 1 year. Maybe it has been 10. Maybe it has been 30 years and people assume you are fine now because you smile, because you work, because you show up for everyone else. But you know the truth. There are still mornings when you wake up and for 1 second you forget, and then you remember and the weight comes back like it is the first day all over again. There are songs you cannot listen to. There are streets you avoid. There is a date on the calendar that arrives every year like a wave you can see coming from far away and still cannot stop. And somewhere along the way, someone made you feel like something was wrong with you for still grieving. They said you should have moved on by now. They said you need closure. They said they are in a better place, as if that sentence could reach the place inside you that is still breaking. If any of this feels like your story, I want you to hear something right now before anything else. There is nothing wrong with you. Grief that never goes away is not a disorder. It is not weakness. It is not a failure to heal. Grief that never goes away is love that never went away. You grieve deeply because you loved deeply, and no one gets to put a deadline on that. This video is a healing prayer for the grief that never goes away. Not a prayer to erase your grief because that is not possible and it is not the goal. This is a prayer to help you carry it differently, to help your body finally rest inside the sorrow instead of fighting it, to let the love underneath the pain breathe again. Before we begin, if this channel is new to you, take 1 moment to subscribe, because every week we create healing prayers for the pain that people carry in silence, the pain nobody asks about anymore. And save this video right now because grief does not follow a schedule. It comes back on anniversaries, on birthdays, on random Tuesday afternoons when a smell or a voice or a stranger who walks like them cracks you open without warning. You will want to find this prayer again on those days, so save it where you can reach it. I also want you to know who is holding this space with you. The words you are about to hear were not written by someone who read about grief in a book. They come from a therapist with more than 20 years of clinical experience walking with people through the darkest seasons of their lives, and from a woman who has lived devastating loss in her own body, in her own story, more than once. She knows what it feels like when the world moves on and you cannot. She knows what it feels like to laugh at a dinner table, while something inside you is still kneeling at a grave. So nothing here will rush you. Nothing here will shame you. Nothing here will ask you to let go of someone you have no intention of letting go of. In the next few minutes, we are going to do 3 things together. First, I will explain what is actually happening inside your brain and your nervous system when grief refuses to fade, because understanding it changes everything, and it will finally give you words for what you have been feeling all these years. Then I will guide you into a short preparation, so your body can open instead of brace. And then the prayer itself, long, unhurried, and uninterrupted, spoken slowly enough for every word to land. You can close your eyes when we get there. You can cry when we get there. In fact, if tears come at any point, even now, let them. Tears are not a breakdown. They are the body doing exactly what it was designed to do with a love this size. You have carried this alone for so long, pretending to be okay so other people could be comfortable. For the length of this video, you do not have to pretend anything. You do not have to be strong. You do not have to be healed. You do not have to explain why it still hurts after all this time. You only have to be here, exactly as you are, with the ache you have been hiding and the name you still whisper when no one is listening. Whoever you lost, a mother, a father, a partner, a child, a sibling, a friend who was more like family, they mattered. They still matter. And the fact that your heart refuses to act like they were temporary is not your brokenness. It is your faithfulness. You did not fail to heal. You refused to pretend that someone irreplaceable was replaceable. So take a breath. Let your shoulders drop just a little. Nobody here thinks you should be over it. Nobody here is waiting for you to be fine. This is the one place where your grief does not have to apologize for still existing. Stay with me because what I am about to tell you about why grief never goes away may be the first explanation that has ever made you feel normal instead of broken. And I do not want you to miss a single word of it. Let me tell you what is really happening inside you, because science has finally caught up with what grieving people have always known. Your brain is a prediction machine. Every single day, without your permission and without your awareness, it builds maps of your world. And the people you love are written into those maps at the deepest level. Their voice, their footsteps, their place at the table, the exact way they said your name. When you love someone for years, Your brain does not store them as a memory. It stores them as a presence, as a living coordinate, as someone who exists out there in space and time and will return. This is why grief is not simply sadness. Grief is your brain trying to update a map it never agreed to change. When your person died, the news reached your thinking mind quickly, but the deeper systems of your brain, the ones that run on attachment and habit and love, did not get the message all at once. That is why you reached for the phone to call them. That is why you set their plate, or turned to tell them something funny, or heard the door and expected their steps. Your brain was not confused. Your brain was faithful to a map that took a lifetime to build. And here is the part nobody explains. That map never fully deletes. Neuroscience shows that grieving is a form of learning, one of the hardest kinds of learning a human brain can do, because it has to hold two truths at the same time. They are gone, and my love for them is still alive. The brain does not resolve that contradiction. It learns to carry it. So when people ask why you are not over it, the honest answer is that the human brain does not have a delete button for love. There is also your nervous system, and this is where 20 years of clinical work have shown me things that textbooks only started admitting recently. Loss is not just an emotional event. It is a physiological one. When someone who regulated your nervous system disappears, the person whose presence calmed your body, whose voice slowed your heartbeat, whose existence made the world feel safe, your body loses one of its anchors. The nervous system registers that absence as danger. That is why grief lives in the chest, in the throat, in the stomach. That is why the exhaustion is so deep that sleep does not fix it. That is why anniversaries hit you physically before you even look at the calendar, because the body keeps its own record of time, and it remembers dates your mind tries to soften. Researchers call these anniversary reactions. Your body calls them the truth. And then there is the myth that has hurt more grievers than almost anything else, the idea that healthy grief means detaching, closing the chapter, saying goodbye and moving on. Newer understanding in grief psychology speaks of continuing bonds. The recognition that healthy grieving is not about severing the connection, but about transforming it. People who heal well do not forget. They find new ways to stay in relationship with the one they lost. They talk to them. They carry their values. They feel them near. For generations, grievers were told this was denial. It is not denial. It is love finding a new form because the old form was taken away. I want to say this next part carefully because I know who is listening. I have sat with widows who still say good morning to an empty pillow after 15 years. I have sat with parents who can tell you exactly how old their child would be today down to the month. I have sat with grown adults who cannot say the word mom without their voice breaking 2 decades later. And I have carried losses of my own that rearranged me from the inside. Losses I do not describe as healed, because that word is too small. What I learned in my own body and in thousands of hours holding space for others is this. The grief that never goes away is not a wound that refuses to close. It is a love that refuses to die, moving through a body that was never taught how to hold it. And that changes what healing means. Healing is not the absence of grief. Healing is when your grief and your life learn to live in the same body without destroying each other. Healing is when the wave still comes but it no longer drowns you every time. Healing is when you can hold their memory and feel warmth arriving alongside the pain, instead of only pain. That is what this prayer is for. Not to shrink your love down to something manageable, but to give your nervous system, finally, a safe place to put it. If you are still here, it is because something in you recognized itself in these words, and that recognition matters more than you know. So stay with me a little longer because in the next few minutes we prepare your body, and then we pray, and I have seen what happens in people when these two things finally meet after years of carrying everything alone. Something loosens. Not the love. Never the love. Only the weight. Now we prepare, and I ask you not to skip this part, because a prayer received by a braced body stays on the surface, but a prayer received by an open body goes all the way down to the place where you have been holding this for years. Find a position where you can stay for a while. Sitting is fine. Lying down is fine. If you are in your car, park somewhere safe. If you are in your bed at 2 in the morning because this is the only hour when the grief is allowed to exist, that is fine too. Some of the most sacred prayers happen in the dark, whispered into pillows. Wherever you are, let your body arrive there fully. Now place one hand over your heart. Feel the warmth of your own palm through your clothes. This hand represents the love you still carry, the love that never left. Place your other hand over your belly, low and soft. This hand represents your body, the faithful body that has been holding this grief for you all these years, through every workday and every family dinner and every night you cried alone. For a moment, just feel both hands, heart and belly, love and body. These two have been carrying the weight together for a long time, and tonight we honor them both. Begin to slow your breathing. Do not force it. Simply let each exhale grow a little longer than the inhale, because the long exhale is the language your nervous system understands, the signal that says you are safe now, you can soften now. Breathe in gently through your nose, and let the breath leave you slowly, like a sigh you have been holding since the funeral. Feel how even one long exhale changes something small inside your chest. Do that again. And once more. If your eyes want to close, let them close. If they want to stay open, let them rest on something still. Now I want to give you 3 permissions, and I want you to actually receive them, not just hear them. The first permission is this. You are allowed to cry. If tears rise during this prayer, do not fight them, do not wipe them away quickly, do not apologize to an empty room. Tears carry stress chemistry out of the body. They are not you falling apart. They are you finally letting the body speak. The second permission. You are allowed to feel whatever comes. Sadness, yes, but also anger, guilt, numbness, even unexpected peace, even a strange relief you have never confessed to anyone. Every one of those feelings is welcome here. None of them will be judged. Grief is not one clean emotion. It is a whole weather system. And tonight every kind of weather is allowed to pass through you safely. The third permission, and this one matters most. You are allowed to keep loving them. This prayer will never ask you to say a final goodbye. This prayer will never ask you to release them as if they were a burden. We do not let go of people here. We let go of weight. We let go of guilt. We let go of the pain that has wrapped itself around the love. But the love stays. The bond stays. They stay. Now, silently or in a whisper, I want you to set an intention. Bring your person to mind. See their face not from the hardest day but from a good day. See them laughing or concentrating, or looking at you the way they used to. Say their name inside yourself. Feel how the name still fits perfectly in your mouth after all this time. And tell them in your own words something like this. I am doing this for us. I am not leaving you. I am learning to carry you in a way that does not break me. Let that intention settle into your chest under your hand. Before the prayer begins, 2 small things, and then I promise no more interruptions. If this space is touching something in you, subscribe to the channel now, so these prayers can find you again when the hard days come. And so this healing can reach other people who are grieving in silence just like you were. And save this video because you will need it again. On their birthday, on the anniversary, on the random ordinary day when grief arrives without knocking. Save it now while you remember. From this point forward, there will be nothing but prayer. No requests, no reminders, nothing pulling you out of the moment. Just my voice, your breath, your 2 hands where they are, and the presence of a love that death could not end. The prayer is long on purpose, because your grief has waited years to be spoken to with this much patience, and we will not rush it. If you drift, drift. If you sob, sob. If you fall asleep somewhere in the middle, then let this prayer become the lullaby that finally lets your nervous system rest, and trust that the words will keep working in you even as you sleep. Take one more slow breath in. Let it out even slower. Feel your hand rising and falling over your heart. Feel your hand warm over your belly. You are safe. You are held. You are not alone in this room anymore. Let us pray together now for you, for them, and for the love between you that never learned how to die. Divine Presence, eternal love, source of all comfort, I come before you tonight carrying a grief that has no ending. I am not coming to you, polished or composed. I am coming as I truly am, tired in a way that sleep has never fixed, sad in a way that time has never touched, and still in love with someone the world keeps telling me to release. You see me, God. You have always seen me. You saw me on the day my world changed forever, when the phone rang or the doctor spoke, or the silence in the house became permanent. You saw me at the funeral standing in clothes I do not remember choosing, receiving embraces I do not remember feeling, saying thank you for coming to faces I cannot recall. You saw me in the weeks after, when the casserole stopped arriving and the messages stopped coming and everyone returned to their lives as if the world had not just lost one of its most important people. And you have seen me every day since, in all the moments no one else witnesses. You have seen me sit in the car in the driveway because walking into the quiet house takes courage nobody knows I need. You have seen me keep their voicemail and listen to it with my eyes closed, just to hear that voice say my name one more time. You have seen me hold their sweater, their handwriting, their photograph, the small sacred objects that still carry their fingerprints and their presence. Divine Presence, tonight I stop pretending in front of you. I confess what I hide from everyone else. Still hurts. After all this time, it still hurts. There are days when the missing of them takes my breath away in the middle of ordinary life, in a supermarket aisle at a red light, in the second before I fall asleep. There are days when I am angry that the world dared to keep spinning. There are days when I feel guilty for laughing, as if joy were a betrayal of them. And there are days when I feel nothing at all, just a gray numbness, and that frightens me most of all. Receive all of it, God. Receive the tears I have cried and the tears I have swallowed. Receive the screams I never let out because the walls were thin and the children were sleeping, and someone always needed me to be the strong one. Tonight I am not the strong one. Tonight I am simply the one who loved, and the one who lost, and the one who is still standing here with a heart that never learned how to stop reaching for them. Come close to me now, closer than my breath, closer than my heartbeat. Wrap your presence around me like the embrace I have been starving for, the embrace that holds all of me, the grieving parts and the guilty parts and the angry parts and the parts that are still, after all these years, waiting for them to walk through the door. You have seen the versions of me that no one else has ever met, the one who talks to photographs, the one who visits their favorite places alone, the one who still buys their favorite things by habit and stands frozen in the aisle when the memory catches up. You have seen it all, and you have never once looked away. I do not ask you to explain why they were taken. I have stopped demanding answers, because no answer would ever be big enough to fill the space they left. Instead, I ask you for something simpler and something greater. Stay with me. Stay with me in this prayer. Stay with me in the empty chair moments and the anniversary mornings and the holidays that have never felt whole again. Let me feel tonight that I am not carrying this love alone anymore. Let me feel that my grief is not an offense to you, not a lack of faith, not a failure to trust your plan, but a testimony, the most honest testimony I have, that the person you gave me was worth every tear I have ever cried. Let my grief be received tonight not as a problem to be solved but as a love letter that has nowhere to be delivered. And be yourself tonight, the one who delivers it. Divine Presence, I have spent so long being ashamed of the size of my sorrow. People have looked at me with that careful expression that says still after all this time, and I have learned to hide, to change the subject, to say I am fine. But you are not uncomfortable with my grief. You have collected every tear. You have heard every whispered conversation I still have with them. You have been present at every graveside visit and every candle lit in silence. So tonight, in your presence, I lay it all down where it can finally be seen. Here is my grief, God, whole and uncut, years deep and still alive. Here is my love, unchanged by death, undimmed by time. Here is my heart, broken and faithful at the same time. Hold them for me for a while. Hold me for a while. Let this prayer be the place where I do not have to be okay, where the weight I have carried alone becomes a weight carried with you, and let something in my chest, something that has been clenched since the day they left, begin, ever so gently, in the safety of your presence, to loosen its grip and breathe. And now, Divine Presence, with you beside me, I want to do something I do not get to do very often anymore. I want to speak about them. Not about my grief, not about my pain, but about them, the actual person, the irreplaceable soul that you created once and only once in all of history. The world has gotten quiet about them. People stopped saying their name, afraid it would upset me, never understanding that the silence hurts more than the name ever could, because when their name disappears from conversation, it feels like they are dying a second time. So tonight, God, I say their name. I say it out loud, or I say it in the secret room of my heart, and I feel how it still belongs to me, how it will always belong to me. Thank you for them. Thank you for the miracle of their existence, for the specific and unrepeatable way you made them. Thank you for their laugh, the real one, the one that took over their whole face. Thank you for their hands and everything those hands did, the meals they cooked, the things they fixed, the way they held mine. Thank you for their voice, for the particular way they answered the phone, for the words they use that no one else uses, the phrases that still live in my mouth because I caught them like an inheritance. Thank you for their stubbornness, their humor, their gentleness, even their flaws, even the things about them that drove me crazy, because I would give anything now for one more chance to be driven crazy by them. Thank you for every ordinary day I got to spend beside them, the days I did not know were treasures, the breakfasts, the car rides, the evenings when we said nothing important and it was everything. Thank you for the arguments that ended in laughter, for the traditions we built without noticing we were building them, for all the inside jokes that now live only in me, precious and orphaned at the same time. Divine Presence, I bring before you now my favorite memories, and I ask you to keep them safe forever, brighter than my fear of forgetting. I see them now. I see the moment I want to keep. Maybe it is a wedding day, a hospital room full of joy, a kitchen full of music, a porch at sunset, a phone call that lasted hours, a silence that was comfortable in the way only real love is comfortable. I hold that image up to you like a photograph, and I ask you to seal it in me, deeper than memory loss, deeper than time, deeper than grief itself. Guard the small details too, God, the ones that seem unimportant, the way they stirred their coffee, the sound of their keys at the door, the exact rhythm of their footsteps, because grief has taught me that the smallest details are where a whole person secretly lives. Let me never lose the sound of their voice. Let me never lose the exact color of their eyes. And if my mind ever fades and the details grow soft at the edges, let my heart keep what my memory cannot, because I believe, God, that a love like this is stored somewhere safer than the brain. I want them to be honored tonight, so hear this and let the heavens hear it too. They mattered. Their life mattered. It was not too small and it was not unfinished in your eyes, even if it ended before I was ready, even if it ended before they were ready. They changed people. They changed me. I am who I am because they loved me, corrected me, believed in me, stayed with me. The kindness I give to others has their fingerprints on it. The strength people admire in me was built in the shelter of their love. They live on in 1,000 small ways that no one else can see, in the recipe I still make, in the advice I still follow, in the values I refuse to abandon because they taught them to me. Divine Presence, if it is permitted, let them know. Let word reach them, in whatever way love travels in your kingdom, that they are not forgotten. Tell them the garden is still cared for. Tell them the family gathered again. Tell them their name was spoken tonight with pride and tenderness and not only with tears. Tell them that the love they planted in me did not die with them, that it grows still, that I have guarded it through every season of this grief like a flame cupped against the wind. And tell them this above everything else. Tell them thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for the years, however many or however few you counted out for us. Thank you for staying as long as they could. I did not always say it enough when they were here. I thought we had more time. Everyone always thinks there is more time. So let this prayer carry every unsaid thank you across whatever distance separates us now, and let them receive it all at once, a lifetime of gratitude arriving like sunrise, so they know beyond all doubt that being loved by them was one of the greatest honors of my entire life, and that I would choose them again in any lifetime, in any world, even knowing exactly how much it would one day cost me to lose them. Divine Presence, now I come to the heaviest part of my grief, the part one have never fully spoken aloud, and I ask you to stay very close to me for this. Beneath my sadness there are other weights, and they have been crushing me quietly for years. There is guilt, God. There is regret. There are words I said that I wish I could take back, and words I never said that circle my mind at night like birds that cannot land. I replay the last conversation. I replay the last visit. I replay the moment I was distracted or busy or impatient, not knowing it was near the end. Some part of me has been standing in a courtroom all this time, prosecuting myself with questions that have no mercy. Why did I not call more often? Why did I not notice the signs? Why did I not say I love you that last time? Why was I not there in the final moment? Or why was I there and unable to save them? Tonight, in your presence, I bring every one of these questions out of the dark, and I ask you to help me lay them down, because I cannot carry them into another year. Divine Presence, help me tell myself the truth. I did the best I could with what I knew, with what I had, with what I was carrying at the time. I was human. I could not see the future. I could not read the calendar of heaven. If I had known it was the last phone call, I would have stayed on the line for hours. If I had known it was the last hug, I would never have let go. But love does not get warnings, and I refuse to keep punishing the person I was for not knowing what no one could have known. So tonight I forgive myself. I say it even if my voice shakes. I forgive myself for the visits I postponed. I forgive myself for the words I chose poorly and the words I never found. I forgive myself for surviving, for continuing to breathe when they could not, for every moment of joy I have felt since they left that made me feel like a traitor. Living is not betrayal, God. Help me believe that. Every time I choose life, I am not walking away from them. I am carrying them forward into rooms they never got to enter, and there is no dishonor in that, only continuation. They would not want my life to become a monument of suffering. They would want me to live fully and honestly, carrying them with me. And there is anger too, divine presence, and I will not hide it from you anymore. Anger at the disease, at the accident, at the doctors, at the unfairness, at the people who did not show up, at the ones who said the wrong things, at the world that moved on so quickly. And yes, sometimes in my most honest midnight, anger at you. I have shouted questions at your silence. I have felt abandoned by heaven itself. Thank you for being a God who is not destroyed by my anger, who does not turn away from my hardest questions, who can hold my clenched fists until they become open hands again. I release this anger now, not because it was wrong to feel it, but because it has been burning me far more than it has ever touched anyone else. If there are people I need to forgive, soften my heart toward them tonight, not for their sake alone, but for mine, because every resentment I carry is another stone strapped to a body that is already exhausted from grief. I choose lightness now, not because everyone deserves it, but because I do. And if somewhere deep inside I have been angry at the one I lost, angry that they left me, angry at choices they made, angry that they did not fight harder or stay longer, let me forgive them too, fully and tenderly, the way I hope to be forgiven for my own humanity. Anger and love have been sharing the same room in my chest for years, and tonight I finally understand that releasing one does not evict the other. The love stays, only the burning leaves. Divine presence, I also release the unfinished things between us. The apology I never received, the apology I never gave, the misunderstanding we never resolved, the conversation we kept postponing until postponing became forever. I place all of it in your hands, because I believe you are the place where unfinished love gets completed. Whatever needed to be said between us, let it be said now, spirit to spirit, in the language that needs no words. Whatever needed to be forgiven between us, let it be forgiven now, completely, in both directions. Let there be peace between our souls, God, real peace, the kind that reaches backward through time and heals even the days that hurt. I am tired of carrying courtrooms and battlefields inside my chest. Tonight I choose to lay down every weapon I have been pointing at myself, and I ask you to do what only you can do. Take the guilt and give me back the love. Take the anger and give me back the memories. Take the endless trial in my mind and give me back the simple, devastating, beautiful truth that we loved each other imperfectly and completely, the only way humans ever love, and that this love, cleaned of all its debris tonight, is the only verdict that remains. Divine presence, now I bring you my body, this faithful and exhausted body that has been carrying my grief in its tissues all these years. Science tells me that grief lives in the body, and my body has known this all along. So tonight, with my hand still resting over my heart and my hand still warm over my belly, I ask you to move through me as healing slowly, room by room, like light moving through a house that has been dark too long. Begin with my chest, God. There is a weight here that arrived the day they left and has never fully lifted. An invisible stone that presses down when I wake and tightens when I remember. Touch this heaviness now. Let your warmth spread across my chest like a hand laid gently over the exact place where it hurts. With every breath I take during this prayer, let the stone grow lighter. I breathe in your peace. I breathe out years of held sorrow. I breathe in your comfort. I breathe out the pressure of pretending to be fine. Let my heart, the physical muscle that has literally ached with missing them, be soothed and strengthened, and let the space around it soften, so that love can move through me again without hitting walls of pain. Now my throat, divine presence. There is a knot here made of all the words I swallowed, the cries I muffled so no one would worry, the name I stopped saying out loud, the stories about them I keep inside because my voice breaks when I try. Untie this knot with your gentleness. Give me back my voice so I can speak of them with tears if tears come, and with laughter when laughter comes, without shame in either. Let my shoulders release now too. These shoulders that have been braced against the next wave of pain for so long they have forgotten what softness feels like. I let them drop. I let them be held by you instead. Move down through my stomach, God. This place where dread has lived, where the phone ringing late at night still sends a spike of fear, where anniversaries announce themselves as nausea before I even remember the date. Lay your calm here like warm oil. Teach my belly that the worst day is not happening right now, that in this moment, in this breath, I am safe. Move through my hands too, these hands that held theirs, that signed papers no one should have to sign, that packed boxes and folded clothes and carried more than hands were ever meant to carry. Bless my hands, God, and give them warm and living things to hold again. Speak to my nervous system directly, divine presence, in the wordless language it understands. Tell it the emergency is over. Tell it that it does not have to stand guard tonight. It has been so vigilant, scanning every room for a presence that is missing, bracing for a blow that already fell years ago. Let it stand down now. Let it rest. And God, please heal my sleep. You know my nights. You know the bed that feels too big, the hour when the house goes quiet and the grief gets loud, the dreams where they are alive again, and the cruel morning where I lose them once more in the first seconds of waking. Bless my nights from this day forward. When I lie down, post your peace at the door of my room like a guard. If dreams of them come, let them come as gifts, warm and kind, visits instead of wounds, and let me wake from them comforted instead of shattered. Restore what grief has drained from me, the deep exhaustion that no vacation has ever touched, the fatigue that lives in my bones, the fog that has wrapped my mind since the loss. Clear this fog gently and give me back my focus, my memory, my ability to be present inside my own life, because they would want me sharp and alive, not half here. Renew my cells, my strength, my appetite for life. Heal whatever this sorrow has quietly done to my health, to my blood pressure, to my immune system, to my hormones, to every system that has been running on survival for years. Let healing move through me tonight, from the crown of my head, down through my tired eyes that have cried oceans, through my jaw that has clenched through 1,000 condolences, through my chest and my belly and my back that has carried everything, down through my legs that kept walking when I did not know how, all the way to the soles of my feet. And as this healing moves through me, let my body finally understand something my mind has been learning tonight. Softening is not forgetting. Resting is not abandoning. Feeling better is not loving less. My body can lay down the weight and keep the love, because the love was never heavy, God. The love was never the burden. It was the grief with nowhere to go, the guilt, the loneliness, the pretending. Those were the weights. And tonight, piece by piece, breath by breath, in the safety of your presence, I am setting them down, and I can feel my body, my good and faithful body, beginning at last to believe that it is allowed to live again. Divine presence, as this prayer moves toward its close, I ask you now for the greatest gift of all, the one truth I need written so deeply in me that no dark night can ever erase it. Teach me beyond all doubt that love does not die. Everything else about them was temporary, the body, the voice, the years we were given, but the love was made of something else, something eternal, something that came from you and therefore returns to you and therefore cannot be destroyed. Death took their presence from my days, but it did not take one drop of the love, because the love is not buried anywhere. The love is here in my chest, under my hand, alive and warm and answering to their name. Feel it right now. This ache I have carried all these years, this grief that never goes away, I understand it differently tonight. It never went away because they never went away. Not really. Not from where it matters. The bond between us did not end at a graveside. It changed form the way water changes form, the way light changes form, still real, still present, still mine. Nothing that ever truly existed in you can be lost, and our love truly existed. It exists still. I felt it move in this prayer tonight, warm and unmistakable, like a hand finding mine in the dark. So I am not going to say goodbye tonight, God, and I know now that I do not have to. Instead, I say something truer. I carry you with me. Wherever I go, you go. Into every morning, into every holiday, into every ordinary afternoon, I bring you along, not as a weight anymore, but as a companion, as a blessing sewn into the lining of my life. I will live for both of us now. I will notice the sunsets you would have loved. I will laugh at the things that would have made you laugh, and I will hear your laughter inside mine. I will finish what you started where I can, and I will honor what you valued everywhere I am able. Your kindness will keep moving through my hands. Your story will keep being told by my mouth. Anyone who truly knows me will, in some hidden way, know you too, because you are woven into me beyond any unraveling. Divine presence, if it pleases you, let there be signs. Small mercies. the song at the exact right moment, the dream that feels like a visit, the sudden warmth in a quiet room, the bird, the butterfly, the light through the window that arrives precisely when my heart is calling for them. I will not demand these things, but I will keep my eyes soft and my heart open, and when they come, I will receive them with gratitude and not talk myself out of the comfort. Let me stop calling these moments coincidence when my whole heart knows better, and let me stop apologizing for a hope that has kept me alive. And I hold on to the greatest hope of all, the hope you planted in every grieving heart since the beginning of time, that this separation is a chapter and not the ending, that somewhere beyond the reach of clocks and calendars, in your presence where nothing is ever lost, there will be a reunion. I do not know what it will look like. I only know what my heart insists on, that one day I will see them again, whole and shining and free of every pain, and that they will look at me the way they used to, and everything these years of grief have taken will be restored in a single embrace that never has to end. Until that day, keep them for me, God. Keep them safe in your light. Let them be at peace, fully at peace, wrapped in a joy larger than anything this world ever offered them. And keep me too. Keep me walking, keep me loving, keep me alive in the truest sense, not just surviving around a crater, but growing a life in which their love is the richest soil. Let joy return to me without shame, because every joy I feel from now on will carry their name inside it. Bless the love between us, divine presence. Bless it backward through every year we shared. Bless it in this present moment where it still burns, and bless it forward into eternity where it is headed. I release this prayer into your hands now, every word of it, the tears inside it, the names inside it, the years of silent caring that finally found a voice tonight. Seal this healing in me. Let what softened tonight stay soft. Let what lifted tonight stay lifted. And let the love, only ever the love, remain exactly as it is, undiminished, unbroken, and mine forever. In your holy presence I place my grief, my gratitude, and my whole heart. Amen. Amen. Let every heaven hear it. Amen. Stay in this stillness for a moment now. Do not rush away from it. Feel your breath moving. Feel your hand still resting on your heart and your belly. Feel how the room is the same room, and yet something in you is not the same. The love is still here. The person is still yours. But the weight, notice it, is not sitting on your chest the way it was when we began. That difference, however small it feels right now, is real, and it is yours to keep. Welcome back, dear one. Take your time returning. There is no hurry here. Wiggle your fingers gently. Feel the surface beneath you. Notice the room around you, the light, the sounds, the ordinary world waiting patiently for you. If you cried during this prayer, I am proud of you because those tears were years old and they needed to leave your body. If you did not cry, that is perfectly okay too, because grief has many languages and silence is one of them. If you fell asleep somewhere along the way, trust that nothing was wasted, because your nervous system received every word in the deepest state possible, and rest itself was part of the healing tonight. Drink some water when you can. Be slow with yourself for the rest of the day. You have just done something most people never do. You sat down with a grief you have carried for years, and instead of running from it or numbing it or apologizing for it, you let it be seen, you let it be held, and you let some of its weight be lifted without letting go of one single drop of the love. That is not a small thing. That is one of the bravest forms of healing there is. Before you go, I want to invite you to do something meaningful. In the comments below, write the word forever. Just that one word, forever. It is a declaration that your love did not end and never will. And if your heart feels ready, write their name beside it. Their beautiful name in the light where it belongs, where other grieving hearts from all over the world can read it and silently honor them with you. Something powerful happens in that comment section. People who have felt alone in their grief for years discover a whole community of hearts that understand without needing any explanation. Your word might be the exact thing another grieving person needs to see tonight to know they are not crazy, not broken, and not alone. And while you are there, look at the pinned comment at the top. I left something for you, a free gift, a gentle companion guide created for hearts that carry long grief, with simple practices you can use on the hard days, the anniversaries, the birthdays, the nights when the wave comes back. It costs nothing. It exists because this channel believes healing should reach everyone who needs it. The link is right there in the pinned comment and also in the description below. If this prayer touched something in you tonight, please subscribe to the channel. It takes 2 seconds, and it means these prayers will find you again exactly when you need them. Every single week we create new healing prayers for the pain people carry in silence, the grief nobody asks about anymore, the wounds that hide behind the words "I am fine." There is a whole library here waiting to hold you. Prayers for losing a mother, for losing a partner, for the empty chair at the table, for the nights when sleep will not come. Subscribing also tells this platform that content like this matters, which helps these prayers reach the millions of grieving people scrolling right now at 3 in the morning, looking for exactly what you just found. Save this video to a playlist you can find easily because your grief will have its seasons, and on the day the wave returns, on their birthday, on the anniversary, on the random Tuesday when a song undoes you in the car, this prayer will be here, unchanged and patient, ready to hold you again. Healing is not a straight line, and returning to this prayer many times is not a step backward. It is exactly how deep healing works, layer by layer, visit by visit. Each time you return, the prayer will meet a slightly different you, and each time it will loosen something the last visit could not yet reach. And if someone came to your mind while you prayed tonight, a friend who lost her husband, a brother who never talks about it, a coworker whose eyes go somewhere else when a certain name is mentioned, send this video to them. You do not need to say much. Just tell them, "This helped me and I thought of you." Grief isolates people, and one small act of sharing can quietly break that isolation. That small message might be the door to a healing they have been too tired to look for on their own. Thank you for trusting this space with something as sacred as your grief. Thank you for keeping their memory alive by simply being here. You leave this prayer carrying everything that matters, the love, the memories, the bond that death could not touch, and leaving behind what was never yours to carry, the guilt, the loneliness, the silence. Go gently now. Speak their name today out loud at least once and let it taste like love instead of only loss. They are still yours. You are still theirs. And that dear one is forever. Until the next prayer, may you be held, may you be comforted, and may your faithful, loving, grieving heart finally know this truth. It never went away because real love never does. God bless you. God bless them. The light is in command, trust. See you in the next prayer.